Hey, hey, what's happening, my joyful people? It is Kimberly Joy Morgan of Do All Things with Joy, where health and wellness meets passion and purpose. I am so happy that you are here with me on yet another Friday for Share the Joy. So I hope you guys are doing well. Looking forward to hey Craig, it's good to see you. Looking forward to an amazing Memorial Day weekend. Hey Daytria, it's so good to see you too. Hey, what's happening, Ferris? And Regina Webb, so good to see you. I am excited about today's topic because I think it's going to help people immensely. So thank you for joining on. I want to make sure you guys realize you can always ask questions as this is going on. I am looking at comments as they come through. So as I'm waiting for people, hey, Reginald, it's good to see you on live. All right. Hey, Sylvia, so good to see you too. So remember, you can always ask questions throughout this live broadcast. I welcome that. And then if you're watching the replay, you can always ask questions. I will chime in and answer them. So here's the deal. I listed a bunch of things and you're like, one culprit? I'm like, yes, one culprit. Because what I want you to understand is that our body is not just our body, right? We actually have organisms living inside of us that help us. And when the balance is really good, it's almost like we're a planet. And if the ecosystem is doing what it needs to do, then our planet is feeling really good, right? It's kind of like our Earth, the balance of Earth. If there's too much or too many snakes in an area, something goes wrong, or too many rats, they bring in snakes to take care of the rats. Like that's how our body is. And it's like how food operates in our system. So understand that we have to have a delicate balance. And if there's something that's overgrown in our bodies, it can wreak havoc. So what I want you to realize is that one of the things that's in our mouth and our digestive tract is something called Candida. And it's necessary, which is another word for yeast, okay? It's necessary for breaking down food and for the digestive process. And for the absorption of like nutrients and minerals and things like that. But if we have an overgrowth of Candida in our bodies, it can cause a host of issues. And I'm going to start talking about some of those things. And then next week, we're going to talk about ways in which to get rid of it. But I'm also going to give you at the end of this, so hang in with me, a little test that you can see if you are overgrown with yeast in the body. All right, so the digestive issues, when you have too much Candida, too much yeast in the body, it can cause, like I said, digestive issues. It can also cause issues with anxiety and mood and depression. But if it gets really, really serious, it can create something called leaky gut, which is when it pokes holes. When what happens is this pokes holes in the lining of the gut that's supposed to be really, really strong. And then particles of food get into the bloodstream. And those particles in your blood makes you think that you're having an infection. So then it fights it. So then you have all kinds of things like autoimmune disorders. So we can talk about that another time. But I just want to talk about yeast today especially. So the things that cause too much yeast in our body: too much sugar, too many carbs, alcohol, stress, and even antibiotics, okay? So let's talk about some of the things that your body can tell you and give you the red flags if you have Candida. The first thing are fungal infections. And a lot of people are like, what do you mean fungal infections? So if you look at your fingernails and you like all of a sudden realize that they're yellowing, that's usually a fungus, especially people, men too, with toenails. That's one of the things. Hey, Nicole, so good to see you. So it's like fungal infections for the toenails. If you're noticing that you have yellow toenails, you probably have Candida overgrowth. Or if all of a sudden, you have athlete's foot, that's another thing. A lot of people think, oh, well, I'm just, a jock and I was in the gym when I was a kid and all this, or, in college. And no, it could be that you're eating too many carbohydrates and you're getting the fungal infection in your feet. That's one. So examine those. The next one are digestive issues. So bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, it all shows up in different ways depending upon how your body deals with it. Remember what I said, think about too many rats, we got to bring in snakes, another type of food or another type of thing, it's overgrown. Hey, Perky, so good to see you this morning. So understand that if you're always bloated, you're always feeling gassy, or you have diarrhea, or on the other side, you feel like you're always constipated, it could literally be the fact that you have a Candida overgrowth in your body. Next thing, skin problems. So you can have multiple of these and you can have all of them. You could have one or two, or you could have all of them. So understand that, think about how many of these things you deal with. And then I'm going to show you the test at the end that you can do this really simple. So skin problems, rashes, eczema, psoriasis, and even hives. So those are things that you can look at in your body and say, man, if I have like unexplained hives, if I have, a rash going on, all of that, eczema, psoriasis, this could be deeper. And I always tell people skin problems are usually telling me I have a digestive problem. Like people don't understand the meaning of the gut and having a healthy microbiome, what that does for you in all areas of your life. When my skin is breaking out or something happens, I'm always like, what's going on internally? What have I been eating differently? What have I been doing differently that is creating this environment that the toxins have to come out? And that's what happens when you see that. The next one, urinary tract infections, okay? Hey, Tracy, good to see you, sweetie. Urinary tract infections. If you're someone who suffers or a woman that suffers with multiple urinary tract infections, now sometimes it happens. Trust me, intercourse without urinating afterwards or, having an issue with, going into a body of water that could have created something that came up into the urinary tract. Those are things that can cause urinary tract infections. But if all of a sudden you're just experiencing, I'm getting a urinary tract infection, I'm getting multiple ones, bladder infections, even vaginal yeast infections can be indicators that you have too much Candida in the body. So we want to make sure that if we're getting these reoccurring and it's not something we can pinpoint or think about, that's one area you may want to look at. And anytime also where you have like itching in a private area, your anus, your vaginal area. Hey, Loretta, so good to see you. All of that kind of stuff, that sometimes can be that's Candida, that's yeast. That's what that feeling is, or what's the manifestation of the overgrowth. The next one is allergies or itchy eyes, or in itchy ears. If you feel like you're constantly, it's not even allergy season and you're kind of always doing the clear under the throat, or there's something going on, or you're feeling kind of that allergy, that symptom of what you're seeing could be something that is yeast that's causing that. And then your body, like I said, remember, especially if you've gone into the leaky gut syndrome part of stuff, that means that your body is always constantly fighting something. And so it feels like it's having an allergic reaction to what's going on internally. And the last one are mood swings, depression, anxiety, anything like that. The gut houses more, what are they called? My mind went blank for a second. I'll tell you in a minute. More neurons going as far as creating the neurons for the brain, going back and forth as far as what you have. Neurotransmitters, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. So more neurotransmitters in the gut are produced than in the brain. So if your gut is unhappy, a lot of times those hormones that need to be produced to the brain to create the balance so that you don't feel anxious or depressed or have mood swings or things like that, are not firing properly. Too many rats. We need some snakes. And I just say that, when I say that, it's like something that will keep the balance in an area. So those things that I want you to think about is how much your gut plays a role in this. And like I said, sugar, carbohydrates, alcohol, those are all things that exacerbate yeast in the body. Now, we're going to talk more about that next week and what we can do to eliminate Candida. But before I go, I want to give you guys a little bit of a tip on how you can test at home, easy. You don't have to go to the doctor to figure out really how bad it is. I want you to take a glass of water, just fill it halfway. Make sure it's a clear, like a glass, not a plastic cup or anything. You need something that you can see through, not stainless steel. That's not the time for it. A glass, and just put water there. Put it on your nightstand. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing, before you brush your teeth, before you go to the bathroom, before you do anything, get some saliva, work it up in your mouth until your mouth is good and juicy. And then I want you to spit. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that you're enjoying this information. I think it's Sherelle. And so like get saliva in your mouth, really good, right? And then you're gonna just spit that. Now, I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. Don't do that. All right, guys? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking not mucus. I want you just to get the saliva from your mouth and just spit. Walk away and go brush your teeth, go to the bathroom, wash your face or whatever. Come back. Take the glass and look at it. And if it looks like there is an octopus or a squid growing from that spit and tentacles coming down, the more and the longer they are, the more Candida that you have in your body. Meaning an overgrowth usually. So if it's kind of just the spit is just kind of sitting there and it just, may drop a little bit, but it's not like tentacles coming down, you're probably pretty good and you probably don't see. But if you're noticing that you have a lot of these symptoms that I've been talking about in my little book when I write things out for you guys, understand that those are warning signs to you. It's not, oh, I just have a rash or something. It always, 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 guys, starts with the gut. It starts with the gut. Oh, I'm glad you will try this, Waukesha. Awesome. So just know that anytime you guys are thinking, that's why I have the program Gut Check 21. It's really to help people learn how to get some of these things. Hey, Tanya, Toya, it's so good to see you. Or Tanya, excuse me. So good to see you. It's so good to like detox the body of some of these things, and then you start to see how great you feel, how amazing your mind is feeling, how amazing your energy level is. And so if you need help, I'm here to help you with that. All right, guys, that's one of the things that I do best, is help people with that through Gut Check 21 and then my one-on-one coaching. But if you don't get your gut right, there's a whole lot, those passion, purpose, all that, you're not gonna have the energy, the lifestyle, whatever that you want for it. So just know that yeast is a huge culprit in America, especially because we eat way too much sugar. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this Share the Joy. I hope you do one thing for me. Please hit the share button. Just let other people know about this. I love when people get healthy. I don't even have to know who they are. All right, guys, so hit the share button, let people know about it, and next week I'll be talking about how you can take certain foods and things out of your diet to clean up that gut. And if you are experiencing Candida, all of those things, thank you, Nicole, for sharing. I appreciate that. Candida, all of that stuff, and I'm excited that, Sylvia, you are going to try it in the morning as well. Good deal. You're welcome, Loretta. If you're experiencing these things, check to see. Maybe it's your gut. All right. So I love you guys much. I'm so excited. I'm in my now going on 3rd year of doing Share the Joy. I feel good about that, right, y'all? Every Friday I come on sometime, hopefully in the morning, but it's sometime on a Friday. And I hope to see you next week. Remember to do all things with joy and share the joy. All right. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.